today, let me not take time. Given about visions and dreams.
We're going to speak about
I was wondering throughout the week what am I going to tell these people? And this verse from Habakkuk 2 verse 3. So the verse says, write the vision and make it plain, so that he who reads it will run to it. And even though it's terrible, that means take a long time. Wait for it, for surely it will come at an appointed time. Habakkuk 2 verses 3.
Amun la tujet betushenche kigingat ak kuchok toy kutok kinge kagesuni amamoy lembech agot kogage igenige amun nyone iman maigorige.
So this was the word of the Lord to Habakkuk. And he was given a vision about what God was going to do. So Habakkuk, I think it was the Israelites. The Habakkuk was complaining that they were being oppressed. About that God was taking long to respond. But when God replied, he gave him a vision. And he told him to write down. So in our lives, we have visions and dreams. And it's good that yesterday, even though I was not there, in the Macedonia, they have talked about manifesting the glory of God. And our mom here was good to set the pace to talk about his experience in Zimbabwe and South Africa. So in our lives we have visions. And these visions, God places them in our minds and in our hearts. And it is our job to discern and know that these are the visions from God. So once we know these are the visions from God, the first step is to write them down. And when we write them down, this does something to our minds. So our minds are divided into two. We have the conscious mind and the subconscious part. So the conscious mind is the one that we interact with daily. It is the one that filters the things we see, the things we interact with. But the subconscious mind is we call it the emotional mind. And this is the mind that we tap only when we are asleep. So you can imagine when you are dreaming in the night, everything to you is, you understand it. For example, if you are dreaming that you are falling into an endless pit, that your mind can understand it. But when you come to the real world, you will not understand. You are wondering, what is this? So that is because in daytime, we are tapping into the conscious mind. And the visions and the dreams, they are in our subconscious mind. And even in Job, Job 33 verse 14, the Bible says, for God speaks again and again, though people do not recognize it. He speaks it in dreams, in visions of night. When deep sleep falls on people as they lie in their beds. So, what God was really, Job was really talking about here is our subconscious mind. And I really want everybody here to understand these things. That God speaks to us through our imaginations. The godly and the ungodly people. So, there are some visions that God has placed in our minds. But we've never believed that we can do it. Because we lack faith. And in Hebrews, what is faith? So it says faith is a substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. And there is a great scientist who said, he said, imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attractions. And the evidence of things not seen. So you can see the relationship between faith and our imaginations. And we know that now these imaginations are the visions that God places in our minds. When you keep imagining yourself opening a business, it's because God has that business for you. When you imagine yourself driving a car that you desire, it's because God has that car for you in your mind. But you don't believe it. So that's our problem in our daily life. And the second thing is exposure. You've heard our mother say he went and saw many things in Zimbabwe and South Africa. It's because of exposure. School will not teach you how to succeed. You only get a degree and then come outside and hustle. But the real success is the one that God has placed in our minds. The calling that we feel in our hearts. So I really wish people would understand this. That God is talking to us through our imaginations. So the reason I was talking about Habakkuk, it says write the vision. So when an imagination comes into your mind, it seems so big to you. You're wondering, how will I start this business? You're wondering, how will I do this project for me, for example? So the first thing to do is to write the vision down. And write it exactly as you see in your imagination. Describe even the very little details that are there. The reason for writing the vision down is that it plugs it in your subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind now is the one that will control your reality. So it's really the playing the games of the mind. Okay, the second thing is that our minds are the ones that control our reality. You are here because your mind taught you to this place. And in our world, it's we follow this sequence of thought, and then the action itself. But now, our subconscious mind has to flip that reality. The reality. So from the subconscious, we start from the action. Then the word, then the thought. Because our minds cannot discern what is true, what is real, and what is imaginary. It takes everything as true, even the imagined one. So, when your vision is given to you, these are the steps now to take to attract that visions to you. So at the beginning I told you I'm a mechanical engineer. And there is a unit called quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics. So in our world, we have the quantum world and the classical world. And I really want us Christians to understand that science and spirituality is not different. God made these things for us. And so He gave us the minds to be creative. He told us that we are He made us in His image and likeness. Now, God was the one who created the world and everything that is in it. And so He is with us. That doesn't mean we can create a world like God. he anointed Jehovah. But he gave us the creative power of our minds
Lakini kikochi kabwatutik kyok komuch koyai tuguk.
to create the conditions that we want.
Keyai tuguk chekikose tomiten.
So it's really the only the game of the mind.
Boishet kabwatutik.
So the first thing I wanted to say was it's called the law of attraction. The step that I wanted to. The law of attraction. So in quantum mechanics, this is a secondary law. And the primary law is actually, it's called the law of vibration. So in our real world, the reason you are existing this way, it's because you are vibrating so fast that I can see you. That is in how we describe it in quantum mechanics. And that we are made of energy. So it's this energy that determines what we attract. So when you think of poor thoughts, you attract poor things. When you think of rich thoughts, you attract rich thoughts. It's because you are vibrating in a different frequencies. So I really don't want to go deep into that, but I really wish you could understand it. So Mom has experienced these things. If you try to ask her, what have you done? The first thing she will tell you is that she has written in his vision books. That he saw it, she saw it in her imagination. That she wants to become a women rep. That she wants to go to Zimbabwe or South Africa. So it's really the law of it's really about the mind. Let us not just live anyhow. Let us know how the world works. And God gave us the ways to understand these things. So I've talked about the law of vibration and the law of attraction. And the that one now, it's called the law of assumption. So what is assumption? Assumption is to assume. Yeah, sometimes you are given a question and you are given assume. Yeah. So that's how our minds, the subconscious mind needs to work. Because I told you, the mind does not know what is imagined and what's real. It takes everything as true. So what you feed it takes it as true. And it really comes back to these laws that I was telling you. That we are made up of energy. And this energy determines what we attract. because of the mind. So the law of assumption, I told you that in our world we go from thought, word, then the action itself. For example, if you want to buy a car, the car that you really desire, at first it will come into your mind, I want to buy this car. And then the word itself, you tell maybe your spouse, I want to buy a car. And then the action now follows. You now do work to get the car. That's why I told you imagination and faith is not different. So in our in the subconscious mind, the law of assumption, you say now that you act as if you already have that thing. That is faith. You may wake up and just press a remote and say, this is my car. Because you are assuming it. And when you are assuming that one, it shows that you are having faith that it will happen. So at first it may look foolish to you. But that's how really it works. And I really want us to understand this. That this is how our minds work. And for you to understand it in real life, can you imagine that when sometimes you are talking about somebody, all of a sudden he or she shows up. Why? It's because of our minds. Or for example, when you want to call somebody who is far, you anticipate him to or he to see you. Because in your mind you are twisting him to see you. And eventually you find him seeing you. So that's how the law of attraction works. And it's our minds. So Job said that God is talking to us in our visions, in our dreams, when we are deep in a sleep. And it's our job to discern that these things are from God. You keep imagining yourself having a business. You keep imagining yourself driving a car you want. You keep imagining yourself boarding a plane. And these are the visions from God. And I told you it seems so big to us that we sometimes we don't believe it. And I'm not speaking theory here. I have used these principles and I've seen them work in my life. For example, the project that I'm working on at school, I saw it in my vision. In the morning, when I was asleep, I saw it it was, I'm working on a jet engine. So it came, even the design itself is even, it came even after the how it will look like. So I went to school. I told my friends, I want to make a jet engine. And they laughed at me and said, "Go na jo engine ya ndege venye inafanya." Nikamwambia najua. So I now started working on it. I drew it. We have softwares that we use to draw the diagrams and everything. So at first to me it seemed something very big. But when I took the step of drawing it, it became more clear how it will look like. So when I finished drawing, I to my friends.
I took it to my friends.
I told them this is what I was imagining now. So we've done some units that deal with these things. So they tried to disprove me. So I told them, let us use the things that we've been taught to analyze it. From the airflow to everything that is it. So we took it to the lecturer and told them, we want to analyze this thing. Will it work? And believe me, the moment we stepped out of the office, they were convinced that this thing will work. So if I had not taken a step of doing what was in my imagination, at first it seemed very big to me. But I did it anyway. And let me tell you, when you take a step of faith in your vision, God will make a way for you. And it will not work if you just sit. You have to work towards it. So if I had seen this thing and not drawn it to bring it into a reality, I would not have been where I am today, even in that project. So in a jet engine, so we need parts to make, because there are some parts that are exposed to extreme heats. So I was wondering, how will I get now these parts? And there are parts that you need to balance because they are rotating. So I told my friends, I need technicians to help me. So I told them that I'll get it. So as I was at home now because of strike, it happened that we met with our nominated senator. So I told her, I have something to do. A school project.
Atinye project nebo school.
and I need finance.
Ako amakinige rabishek.
And she told me, you will call me,
Ako lenchon CP was
and took my number.
Ako yung number yun.
So, that is how it works. So she told me now that you will, when you come to Nairobi, you just call me. I'll fund your project. I need a technician also. So, it was on a graduation day. And I had a friend who was graduating. And so he invited me to his graduation ceremony. And all of a sudden, his uncle is working in a Swedish company in JKIA. And we got to interact with him. And so, I don't know how, but we became good friends at that moment. And he was really interested in knowing me. So I thought, this is a chance, this is God. I told I have a project. I'm working on an engine. He told me, you're working on an engine. Yeah.
I told him yes.
So he told me, where is the project? I have on the phone. I showed him. He said, this is great. Akaniambia sasa I'll arrange for the technicians to help you. And this is they are from a Swedish company. And he told me on my report, mzungu sahi anataka kitu haipigi kelele. So he told me, just look for someone in your report and write this engine is less noisy. I went and then I edited my report. And then I gave him. So he told me, when you come there, kaniambia mzungu atakubali tu mambo yako. Because we have to look for attachments in this place. So this shows you that imagination are visions from God. I really wish people would understand this. I want to see when they
why you go and see somebody driving a car
and you desire that car, God is showing you, this is what I have for you. So I want you to take a step of faith towards your vision. In 2026 as we start, the visions that God revealed to you, I want you to write them down. And when you write them down, work on it. Don't worry where the next step. When you take the step, the path becomes clear. So this is how it works. I really wish people can understand this. So every night before you go to sleep, try to visualize. Because this is the moment that we are tapping into the subconscious mind. And when you are almost waking up in the morning, your subconscious mind is still on. So when you come to the real world now,
John came on and one day the humanity.
Events that happen
Go now, we all say.
that attract your vision.
Go in go to get same. No get.
So that's how really it works.
Your name in the short talk.
To succeed is not a rocket science.
Case science job rocket.
We have all the principles in our Bible.
Continue ultimate tool in Kiptoo.
And I would like to ask parents before I finish. We have, if your child was finishing Form 4, try to give him what he wants, what she wants. If she says he wants this course, or she wants what, try to guide her. Because you cannot see the imagination of the child. So I remember when I was in class 6 also, we were doing an exam. And so I finished the exam very early. I remember it was social studies. And then I was drawing cars and everything at the back of the script. And so at night when we were going to sleep, the teacher had already marked my scripts. And he was saying, what is this paper looking like? Anaona magari. So it was 9:30 and he called me and he told me, wewe ni mjinga ndo uchore vitu kama hizi. Kaniambia kesho asubuhi tutapatana na wewe. Acha niwaambie sikulala vizuri hiyo usiku. Mwalimu anataka kunipiga bona. So in the morning now, the class teacher came. Evans uko wapi? Kuja kwa ofisi. Nikaitwa ofisi. Nikaambiwa hii ni nini unachora? Nikaambia na magari. Kaniambia wewe mtu mkubwa unachora magari hapa. I had nothing to explain. I was just stuttering, you know. Kaniambia enda chini. Akaniwahi kipongo hapo. So I remember one time when we were going for ilikuwa breakfast. And we were fighting for the remaining food. Akaambia kupatia hiyo kijana ndo achore magari vizuri. Anapenda kuchora magari. And the people who were around there laughed at me. Nikasikia mwalimu ananifanyia vibaya sana. Juu sasa hao watu watajua nachoranga magari. Wataniona kama mtoto. But the teacher was not saying what was in my imagination. So I finished school. I'm now studying mechanical engineering. I really want parents. I want you to help your children in their imagination. Because that's where God places their lives. You are a parent and you cannot see the imagination. It's the child that's only seeing. So if he wants to go and study medicine, strive to make to give him that what he wants.
Iborchige iyochi noto.
Because that's his inner imagination.
Amun yoto nilemi gobwatutiki.
I remember when I finished Form 4.
Aboteki mukata Form 4.
My parents told me, "Jumapita sasa,
Kole wana nisigine tamuke isidani.
and I'll find a medicine."
Amache yeye gerche.
I told her, siwezi fanya.
Ole moye.
Nitafanya hii yenye nataka.
Oye ni amache.
And I'm telling you, I did mechanical engineering.
Abamara ke mechanical
And
engineer.
I'm enjoying it.
Ababa baichini.
And when you are enjoying it,
Oyo ni baichini.
you feel like you are not studying enough.
Komega so tile wani so mani.
I'm seeing my classmates.
Agere a classmates actually.
There are some who are forced by their parents to do it.
Mi cheki siki koye.
And you are seeing how they are responding even to class.
Awegero lewe bito class.
They seem not to want it.
Na wa matoma.
It's because they were forced.
Kwa mungi kisiki.
Mtu anasema,
Le mwachiwe.
acha nimalize alafu niende nifanye yangu.
Nena taraza ya chechu.
So I really want parents to help our children in their imagination.
Awase sigo tore lawo kwa egese de tino.
So that is my word of the day.
No no ma yo ko
I really wish you take it into consideration. And ya mwisho sasa.
nela tunena.
I told you I had 3 titles.
Kama wale wakati ni title ni somo.
The first one was a bishop.
Neta bishop.
The second was an engineer.
Ndebo ko engineer.
Ya tatu sasa
Ndebo somo.
tukipatana huko nje.
Yegi tu en joli.
Uniite governor.
Igura governor.
Because I'm becoming governor. Because
I'm coming governor.
I've seen this in my imagination.
Okay, no problem.
And I do. Thank you very much.
Let us appreciate Mr. Governor.